Talk about everything, play music in between. Tune in and enjoy Chad's underground scene. Talking music, you know what I mean. Tune in and enjoy Chad's underground scene.
Welcome to Chad's Underground Scene with my special guest this week, the Nihilist.
Hi there, Chad. Thanks for having me.
How you doing, buddy? We are deep in the underground right here in Hollywood.
Yeah, in my toy shop, basically, more or less. Yeah, I am a 13-year-old boy through and through.
Sweet.
I like
So you've
action
grown up a
figures.
lot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've grown out a lot.
Okay, let's start from the beginning because you probably weren't born the Nihilist,
Nope.
but maybe you were. So tell us a little bit about how you ended up there and...
Well, it all started in the mid-'70s in the back of a mint green Cordoba to the tune of California Dreamin'. This young lady had a martini that night, and this young fellow's rubber broke. No, I've been in entertainment on and off for most of my life. When I first saw the movie Goonies and The Omen,
good stuff.
I'm like, kids could do this. I want to do that. But when you're a kid, you don't explain yourself very well. I still don't all the time.
Right. Oh yeah. Me too.
And I just told my parents I wanted to act. So they tried, and they got me an audition at a pretty big theater in Chicago, and it was for A Christmas Carol.
Oh,
and I
sweet.
got cast in The Christmas Carol as the orphan that comes out at the end and catches the coin, because I could catch the coin.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure that was all the qualifications you needed to get that part.
So instead of baseball, you ended up catching the coin in the play.
I caught the coin from Scrooge. And I did that for 3 years in a row, and I hated it. I'm not a big fan of The Christmas Carol. Not a big fan of, I'm a big fan of Christmas now. And as a kid, presents, and now I like the music, but that wasn't what I wanted to do. So I just said, I hate this and I don't want to do it. They're like, oh, he doesn't want to act. But what I meant was, I don't want to act in The Christmas Carol. I want to be the Omen. I want to be the Empire of the Sun, the boy who runs an army. So I stopped acting for a little while and got into martial arts and punk music, and went in between those. I was a pro fighter in my 20s for a little while. A lot of people don't believe that now because I'm so fat, but I'm crippled. When you can't run or ride a bike and you have a high protein diet, you become a fat guy.
Right, yeah.
So I fought for a while, then I was in a punk band, and the punk band is kind of where the Nihilist name came from. We were called Half-Cocked or The Lust, went back and forth on that, depending on where in the country we were, and our first album was called The Nihilist Gelo, which was a character.
Right, yeah.
But the way it was written on a lot of things, it looked like The Nihilist Gelo was the name of the band, and we were Half-Cocked or The Lust. So people started referring to me as The Nihilist Gelo.
And where did your band originate?
Chicago.
Yeah,
this was all in Chicago. And we went on tour. We actually got to tour most of the world. I have a hit song in Austria.
Oh, sweet, yeah.
Called Hot Girl, which I'll make sure you get a copy of.
Yeah, I had a couple in Germany and a couple different... It's weird. You don't know what country people are listening to your stuff. It's crazy.
It's weird where you could get big. I'm also huge in Thailand in the horror movie scene. And here in California, I live in a studio apartment that I can barely afford near a grocery store.
That you can't afford, right?
Right, yeah. And I can't afford the grocery store.
I peeked at that grocery store.
So that's when I kind of started more or less being the Nihilist as a character. And then I did a lot of films with full moon features. If you're Puppet Master series and Evil Bong, they're filming the final Evil Bong right now. Spoil. No, I'm not sure you're supposed to have that news yet. But Charlie Band, the guy behind Puppet Master, and he worked in Reanimator and stuff like that. He found out that a lot of people in punk music called me Nihilist Gelo instead of my name is Jay Scott.
Right. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Which is I mean, it's a cool name in itself. It sounds like shotgun Jay Scott.
Yeah.
And he's like, Nihilist Jello, that's your name. You're the nihilist. And that's the official dubbing of when I became the Nihilist. It's from Charlie Band from Full Moon Features.
And do you have some recordings of that band
I do.
that people can find?
That people can find? Probably not. I mean,
so you have to contact him to find it.
I think I have the last remaining copies, and they're not even the distribution copies. They're the copies we used to sell for like $5 a copy in the mid-90s. But the Full Moon movies you could find anywhere. I'm not sure if we have a song on that, if they took one of them or not at one point.
So you played probably the underground, right, all over the country.
Yeah.
So tell me some of your favorite maybe cities and clubs that you played at.
My favorite state to play is Michigan. Michigan in the Detroit area. Because those shows, they can get out of hand, and the crowds, they love being out.
And it's a little bit like Hollywood, a little dirty, a little filthy, a little fun.
See, I don't like playing LA, but yeah, like the dirty raw, like Detroit is a raw city.
Yeah.
And it's a no bullshit kind of place. Like you got to be on your game, and you gotta play rough. Philly is very similar.
Philly's the same. Yeah, Philly is.
Like LA, I don't know if anyone really likes playing LA. Not to put down the city I live in, but in LA, everybody wishes they were the person on stage.
Right. Yeah.
Even if they're in the audience.
Even if. So there's a lot of judgment.
That's why we all came here.
There's a lot of judgment. Not a lot of people going, "Yeah, this is awesome." Right?
Yeah. I blanked. I had another story I was going to say, and I lost it in the French. So yeah, continue.
Okay, so there was a point probably where you got into comedy as well. So
yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
I did stand up a little bit in Chicago. I've always been kind of a funny guy. When I was in school, like elementary school and all that, I wanted to be a stand-up. I grew up on Eddie Murphy's Raw, George Carlin.
Oh right, yeah, me too.
Guy just died today, the amazing Jonathan. With his magic Penn and Teller. The rock and roll comic, Sam Kinison. And I really liked that, and I'm like, I could do that. And then, like everything, I was discouraged from it. And you can't be a one-man person on stage, and for most of my life I have been. But when my parents said you don't like acting because you don't like the Christmas Carol and all that, I kind of moved into fighting for a while, and I was really deep into that. I was like Kevin Albright, was an amazing English boxer, Ken Shamrock, the Gracie brothers and their father, and I mean, lucky for me in Chicago, I went to the oh my God, I see his face, Fred Degenberg School, and Fred Degenberg was Bob Seger's personal security.
Oh really?
He taught Mr. T, and they fought together. Yeah. So just the history of the school I was at was really cool. And the guy was amazing. I have a great story with him. We were at the Aragon Ballroom, which everyone refers to as the Aragon Brawl Room, because it only had punk rock bands and fights. Yeah,
in Long Beach here, we had Fender's Brawl Room.
Yeah, I think every city has a brawl room instead of a ballroom. But we went there one day, and I was hanging out, and Fred happened to be there, so I ended up hanging out with him because one of his students was fighting. And the entrance to the Aragon is a huge 2-level stairway that you have to go up and come down. And going up is easy, but when you're drinking and what's coming down sometimes is
a little harder.
And we were halfway down, and I noticed he started to shuffle his feet, so I grabbed him to stop him from falling, and he turned around to me and went, "You don't think I know how to fall?" And he grabbed me and he pulled us both down the stairs.
Down the stairs, nice.
I'm not sure if he even remembers that story, but he did buy me lunch the next day.
And you cladder all the way to the bottom?
Yeah, we fell all the way to the bottom.
Yeah, and you felt that for a couple weeks?
Yeah.
So you missed the 80s in Hollywood and LA, and there was a scene here that was pretty cool then. It was a lot of fun, and there were a lot of fans and people out there to see rock and roll, and then the punk scene was thriving, right?
Yeah.
And then also the rock and roll scene with the hair bands.
Yeah,
that came in as well, and that was some good shit.
Back
There
when
was
the
a lot
strip
of
was
fun
the
stuff.
strip, where like you could hang out at the Rainbow and kind of still be a bum.
Right, yeah.
And it wasn't like right now the strip to me is a museum piece.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's a tale of what.
Oh yeah,
it's
it's people trying to remember what they did when they were younger, right? This will be a great time. We're going to break away, and this is Zombie Sluts from Hell, right here in the middle of Hollywood. Enjoy the video.
I was in a movie very similar to that called Zombies vs. Strippers.
Oh, sweet.
Sound to your tune. I follow you to the day. I follow you to the grave. I thought that nothing was sacred. I thought that nothing was sacred. I follow you to the day. I follow you to the grave. I want your soul. I want your soul. Dark eyes follow you. Dark eyes will bring your doom. I follow you to the day. I follow you to the grave. I thought that nothing was sacred. I thought that nothing was sacred. I follow you to the day. I follow you to the grave. I want your soul. I want your soul. You need to stay alive. I give you everything, and all you want is more, more, more. I thought that nothing was sacred. I thought that nothing was sacred. I follow you to the day. I follow you to the grave. I want your soul. 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 All right, we are back.
That was amazing.
And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed those lunatics in that band. They played deep in Hollywood, deep in the underground. A lot of shows, a lot of cool clubs. Zombie Zoo, Anti-Club was one of the best clubs down here.
Dude, that's also the issue. So many things have closed down that, and I'm
all new,
relatively new to LA, where I can't remember all the cool places, and now they're gone.
Oh, right, now they're gone.
There's a great place on San Fernando that I saw a bunch of shows at, like saw Haunted Garage there a bunch.
Oh yeah, and that just closed down
next to a taco shop
couple years ago. Yeah.
That where they had the cool alley.
And behind, and they would have the DJ down below.
See, like I remember places in Chicago, like the Blue Pony or Fireside Bowl.
Yeah,
Fireside Bowl is still there. That's I think it's still the hub of punk rock. God, I hope it's still there.
Yeah, they had a couple pool halls and bowling alleys that did shows here. They were super cool. So much fun. So continue with the comedy.
Yeah. So I didn't fully get back into comedy until my legs started to hurt. This happened 6-7 years ago. I was a stuntman, and I was still playing music, and I came out here to write jingles for a company called Radical Entertainment, and they moved me to Thailand. And in Thailand, I did a little sparring, did some music, and still was writing jokes here and there. And when I came back here, I did 3 martial art movies, and on the last one, I started limping. And I've been limping for 9 years now.
Oh, wow.
Or however long ago it was, 2013, 8 years. I started limping after this movie, and I've been limping ever since. And it just gradually got worse and worse, and I found out that I have a quote-unquote terminal disease, but I'm not going to die tomorrow.
So it's a neurological issue, or
it's my white blood cells don't want to fix anything anymore.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's vascular. But basically my hip joint is fully necrotic now. In X-rays it looks like an empty ice cream cone.
So it's frozen. Yeah.
If I have one of my stickers, I think there's one in my pocket. Yeah. And you could take this to show them that's my good hip. It looks like a hip, and the other hip is
right, yeah. My assistant.
Lovely assistant.
Thank you.
So once I realized that I couldn't really do a lot of physical things, I'm like, you always have to adapt, and I'm like, well, if I can't be the next bad guy or the next action star. I could be the next King of Queens.
Right, yeah.
Because I mean, I was never like 12 packed out. Like
Right, yeah.
I
You
had
weren't the
big biceps
superhero.
and big shoulders. And I think at one point in college I had a 4-pack.
Right, yeah.
But 2 milkshakes and that would be gone.
That's gone, yeah.
So
On Friday, it's gone.
Instead, I'm like, okay, if I put a sweater on, I look, a little like not as burly. So I went for that, like the comedy thing. And for a while, I was trying to do very similar to Kevin James style comedy. Like, I wanted to be the next fat guy with a way too hot wife on TV. But it's like that trope is kind of over.
Yeah, that's it. They've done that 100,000 times.
Yeah, and I can't really do that comedy. Like, I got good enough that I was in Defending the Caveman, Rob Becker's long-running Broadway show. And I did that. I toured with that through Portland and Chicago. And so I was doing that. So I'm a Broadway star. But
So there was one of my favorite clubs in Portland, the Satyricon, I played at several times. Super cool club, right in the middle of Portland.
I was doing a show there, so I didn't get to go out much. I'm more versed with Seattle's clubs, like the Fun House.
Oh right, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I've been to the Fun House a lot.
Yeah.
In Seattle, one of the places I would hang out a lot, though, was again another bowling alley, and this place had LED lights around the perimeter, where if you texted to the lights, your message would go up.
Oh.
And it was kind of like
Cool.
a way of singles meeting, where it'd be like, "Are you blonde girl? Are you single?
Yeah, you look.
like
Look to your left."
and I would just write, and I just tried to get obscene with them, like, "These omelets are tickling my hemorrhoids. Green pepper makes my pee tingle." I'm like, "Hey, you in the glasses, your mom hates you."
Right.
And just watching
And they're all looking. Who's doing that?
Just having a blast doing that. So
Anonymous.
Like
It's
those
great. Anonymous is sometimes fun.
Those are the kind of places that I'd seek out because they're always fun.
All right, we are going to watch a video of you doing stand-up.
Oh, I hope it's a good
I'm not sure what club it is because I haven't found the video on the YouTube. Is there one you would recommend?
I'm at Universal, the Bar and Grill often, so it might be from there or Time Warp Records.
Okay, those are two great places.
Those are good places.
I've played at both of them, so I recommend both.
Yeah.
And they're underground, which is what this show is all about. So enjoy the video.
Yeah! Oh! Give it up for me! Yeah, for Chris and for Kellyanne, who's on the carpet, and for the whole place for not keeping their word kicking comedy out. But mainly just give it up for me! Oh, I need it. This is my favorite part, the before part. This is the slapping the vein and gets it thick and ready part. This is the bacon wrapped hot dog looking at part. Everyone's excited, no one's mad. It's after you get that bacon wrapped dog when the sickness comes, when it's coming out of one of the ends. It's the before that part.
It's coming for you.
I'm the not diarrhea part. But I don't understand, like, that's one of those, there's so many words that shouldn't be what they are. Diarrhea is one of them. Diarrhea sounds like a warm, soft place to relax. I'm sorry I didn't answer my phone. It was too far out of my reach while I was lying in my diarrhea. It sounds like the princess in a Rodgers and Hammerstein musical. Diarrhea. I've not known you, but I've felt you, diarrhea. I couldn't hold you, but I smelled you, diarrhea. That's right! I am a little too loud because I'm used to opening for heavy metal bands. The last time I opened for somebody, there was a band called Face Down in Shit.
You learn a lot while touring with heavy metal bands, especially biker clubs. If someone likes you and they come to say thanks for your set and they give you a pitcher of beer, it's got a little too much foam in it, it is definitely piss.
You get the short one, I get the big one. And if you want another
I'm starting to come to grips with being older. I'm going to try some newer stuff right now. The one thing I haven't overcome is my temper. People have always described me as a long fuse connected to a big bomb, where I'll deal with a lot of things, and the littlest thing at the end, the butterfly wing, that's what gets me. It's something like the morons who vote said that we can't have plastic bags at the grocery store, but our porn stars need to have them. Yeah, I don't understand that. They have to have plastic bags, and I don't get one? I walk. I need to carry that shit in something. That makes me mad. And then on top of that, you bring your own bag, so now you're like a dude carrying a purse into the grocery store. And it's like, not that I have anything against dudes carrying purses, I just don't like it. It throws my balance off. I already got a bad leg. Don't want to have a purse. I'd like you to just give me the shit in the bags that should have came with it. And now I've got to pack my purse, and nobody tells the guy behind me that I'm not done yet. While I'm here, this is my time. You wait there for your time. That doesn't work. I'm sitting there, I'm trying to pack my bag as fast as I can. I got another dude coming right up to my shoulder, like looking at his stuff, making sure I don't take it. And I couldn't take it. One time I turned to the guy at my local grocery store, and I just like, and he backed up all scared, like, did you just try and kiss me? I'm like, yeah, I want to kiss somebody before they fuck me! How close you need to get? You my fucking prom date? And they got scared, and they're like, we can talk about this later. I'm like, we can talk about it right now! I'm not gonna fight you outside! I'll fight you right here! We can make love on the goddamn conveyor belt! But what are we doing? So I got kicked out of Gelson's. But a month later, they had a fucking sign at every register that said, please wait your turn until the other person is finished. So I feel like I'm accomplished! Yeah!
Hope you enjoyed that. Okay, we are back, and I would like to talk about your latest project, which is Green Jello Vision Music TV.
Green Jello Vision Music Television, live every Saturday at 8 p.m. You can find us on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitch, not quite Patreon anymore. And for a while we were sending it into Pornhub just to be cute, and I think they stopped airing it too. But still, Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube every Saturday, 8 p.m. Pacific time. And you can find us on our new channel, our new website, WTF-TV.com. It looks like call letters,
yes,
like old UHF call letters.
Yeah, and MTV had that type of cool stuff, yeah.
And Bill Manspeaker, the lead singer of Green Jello, the band from my Three Little Pigs from the 90s, you'll know them. He started doing a show during the pandemic because he was bored. He had a little toy shop, and he gutted it and made a tiny little stage where they did a New Year's Eve show in 2020. And then he liked doing that, so the next week he did another show, and he got Angelo from Fishbone to
oh, sweet,
play music with him for a few weeks. So they were rocking, and it was like there's a 90s movie called The Dark Backwards starring Judd Nelson and Bill Paxton. Great movie, but it's very nihilistic and barren and like minimalist, and that's how his stages looked at the time. And I really got into it because it was the kind of emptiness that was almost frightening to watch.
Right, yeah.
If you watch some of the first episodes, it's a little scary. Now it looks like Pee-wee's Playhouse.
It's very,
awesome. Yeah. Very fun. We got prop pieces from Dusk Till Dawn in there. Medusa has been donated. I sit on a little throne, a king's throne, as in my Ed McMahon color commentary chair. And like almost everyone on the show, I wandered in to watch it.
Yes.
He was airing them on YouTube, and he kept saying, order our new record. And I said, well, why don't I just come down and pick up the record? Can I watch the show? And he's like, absolutely. And then I found out, like I'm friendly with the mentors, Steve and all of them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I used to book a birthday show where I would do comedy and they would play music.
Right. Yeah, I played with them quite a few times in the 80s.
Oh, they're great. And I found out the mentors are going to play their show.
And their singer was a big fan of ours, so he was at our shows.
Yeah.
And he would go, I love you, rockabilly faggots.
Like Chicago, LA has that where a lot of punk is interwoven, where this guy from this band is in this band, is in this band.
And Al Duce was insane.
Oh,
he was crazy.
Like, we got the Dwarfs, because a member of the Dwarfs played on the recent Green Jello album, and I mean, I slightly know them, I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wandered. The first time I saw the show, I was there in the audience watching the mentors, and then I had a gig in Vegas the following week, and then I saw the show again. I think the next week was Bill's birthday show, and he drank tequila off my tits.
Oh, nice.
And I ran a camera, and from I ran one of the auxiliary cameras that week. The next week I was on main camera, and I ran the main camera for a month and a half, all the while in the middle of the show doing a stand-up set, and I would help with the monologue, and then Bill and I we noticed we had a back and forth where we would bicker on camera, and he's like, well, I want you to bicker with me the whole show now.
Yeah, and you've gotten very creative with it. So the show has everything. It's a great show. I've been on it a couple times.
Yeah.
And it has everything. It has comedy, live music, underground music.
Oh yeah.
It has comedians coming on, and then it just has total lunacy. You have all the freaks from Hollywood hanging out.
Oh yeah.
And not to forget, we have the Wizard of Weed.
The Wizard of Weed, Richard Eastman, who will speak his mind at every opportunity. I mean, we've had drag performers, fire breathers, grinders. We had a great psychedelic band last week, Mind Free, who's playing around town. Yeah. One of my new favorite bands that's come out of the show, Shimmerbed. And they're playing the Universal Bar.
Oh, they're great. Yeah,
it's Linoleum, our guitarist, Jello, the guy who does sound and music news, and drummer to be named, kind of like Spinal Tap, where it's a new, like Titties played. Right, yeah. Clown played their drums.
The Clown played great too. Yeah.
Lots of crazy things. So I went from audience to cameraman to comedy writer to like a. Not quite a co-host, like a color commentator. Color commentator is what I like to call my nihilist position. And I also sing with the house band.
Cool. So we'll break away, and we're gonna show you a little footage from the show.
Oh, no.
And then when we come back, we're gonna talk a little bit more about this show, because this is a show everyone needs to watch. It is crazy and super fun and
must see TV.
Yeah, something you would never see anywhere else. It's what does he always say? It's a shit show.
It's a shit show.
So enjoy the footage.
You live from Hollywood, California. It's the Green Jello Vision Music TV.
go. I got some microphone now. That was the Green Jello House Band. We're going to hear a lot from them tonight. Welcome, Rim Job. Welcome to the Rim Job Show. Get on close. Ooh, one of y'all's been eating corn. Sweet and salty. All right, welcome to our pre-show while Bill scrubs his balls, while Ball scrubs his bills. Thank you, Dr. Eastman. I'll be your angel of love this evening. You may notice that my man partner isn't with us. Jilliet is on vacation this week. Jilliet is taking his 8-day, 20-mile motorcycle ride. He's going half a mile every 15 hours just to make sure he's safe. Stopping along the way at every Long John Silver's he can find. Actually, he's in San Francisco. Happy Valentine's Day, Jilliet, if you're watching. We love you. We love you almost as much as you love those old San Fran ladies. Well, let me tell you something, Jilliet. From all of us here at the show to all of you, you go get yourself some Sanny Franny Granny Panties. Go get it, son! Everyone!
Dun, 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 dun. And we're back. The show has returned. You're back on Chad's Underground Scene with the Nihilist. So let's continue talking about the show, because the show it's just something that you don't see anywhere else.
No, the way I describe it to onlookers when I'm hawking on the street is it's like hee-haw but punk rock. It's a variety, like it's an old time, like a 70s variety show, like similar to Laugh-In, but modern times and underground and punk rock. We have a host, of course, which is Bill, and he's kind of a carnival barker, and
you're kind of the sidekick, like the late shows, right?
on whatever. I'm the Ed McMahon.
Yeah, Ed McMahon. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Dog food, beer. The great thing about the show, though, is anyone could be on it.
Yeah.
Because Bill had an affinity, and I think he even worked for the Gong Show, and there's a little bit of that element of that to it, where anyone who comes off the street, who comes to one of our production meetings, is allowed to perform on the show. And if they're good, they get a second chance. If they really fuck up royally, they get a second chance. And if they don't mesh, thanks for coming. You got on a show.
And enjoy if you want to come back and
come watch as the audience. Like the biggest issue with that, and in Hollywood, like I said, in Hollywood, everyone wants to be on the stage. Not a lot of people want to work to be on the stage.
Yeah.
Like it's one of those weird things. When I was trying to get into a band again, I'd get a lot of people to be like, "Yeah, let's start a band. I could get us at the Whiskey on Friday." It's like, we haven't rehearsed yet. We don't have one fucking song. Well, how are we gonna play a show?
Make it happen.
And so we get a lot of people who walk through the doors like, I want to perform this weekend. What do you do? I want to be on the show. It's like, okay, that's great.
That's great, yeah. And you know what? The amazing thing there is the vibe of the room, because you have all these different people doing different things, and then people that are hanging, and people that are just walking by, and the energy is so good.
Oh, it's electric in that
positive,
room.
cool energy, and everybody's having a good time.
Everyone I've ever invited to be on the show has thanked me and said it's just an amazing experience, because it's a party, but it's a show. We're all everyone there is partying just as hard as they're working to perform to make a great show.
And at the same time, you're very organized and prepared ahead of time, because there's a direction to the show, and you go right to each thing that happens in the show. So it's fast paced.
That's the only thing that people need to remember is, while it is a party, we're working. There's a formula to the setup of the show. There's a formula to the scenes in the show. On occasion and recently, like when we first started doing the show, we had a character named Cousin Randy, who was an 80s mullet hard rocker, beer drinker, who would pass out booze, and I mean we were forcibly passing out booze, and I have the ability to drink an inhuman amount of alcohol, which is it's lucky for me, and it was cool for the show because I would take his pictures of Panty Dropper and drink half of them on camera.
Right, yeah.
I'd always jump up to take beers when he's passing them, just to show you that we're doing it.
That we're all doing it,
and to get the audience, because we want you on camera if you're going to drink, because we want you to party with us. And a lot of people would be like, "Give me your beer, and I'm going to hide over here." And then some people kind of took, not advantage of it, because I mean we were forcing beers on people, but they just could. They can't really handle their sauce, or maybe they didn't have the right idea about what we're doing. And
it's an interesting mix on your set because a lot of people are sober as well. Yeah, and they're all accepting each other. It's good.
So
and then weed is going around too.
We've cut the alcohol out for right now though, because there's one particular audience member, and he made for great TV. Every time he was on camera, he fucking broke something.
He was kicking something
broke
over,
a chair,
tripping over the cables,
fell over a prop piece and broke it. Would drop a glass. And he still watches the show every week and writes to us. He brings us gifts. Great guy. Just can't be on camera with liquor because he's a walking calamity. I still consider him one of the top fans. I enjoy him, but we had to cut out alcohol.
So one of my favorite characters on the show is the alien.
Oh, Raimundo.
So who came up with that?
That's all Francois. Francois is another. He and I'm not sure if they're married or they're dating. Allie, our production manager, they're a couple, and they both came and were watching the show and asked what they could do. And Allie has a nose for notes and journaling, so she became our production manager.
Oh, nice, yeah.
Keeps everything in place in the back.
Yeah.
Francois became one of the auxiliary camera artists, and I saw him do something on Facebook. He did a Mad Hatter or Marsh Hare poem, and I thought it was hilarious. And I told Allie that he has to start doing stuff on the show. And a few weeks later, he said he had an idea for something he wanted to do on the show, and it was Raimundo, a little puppet alien who is a crooner, sings
crooning songs. It's awesome.
And since his first appearance, he's been on the show every week, and that's what I'm saying. If you come to our meetings, you say you got an idea, we put it on the show. If it's good, you get a part every single week.
Yeah, and it's amazing because everybody is doing something, right? The drummer comes up and he did his thing. Yeah. It's amazing, and I'm like, look at all the talent here. Look at all the things that go on.
Equation's probably the most versatile guy we got because he does the zookeeper, he does the hippie character, he does the little German boy. But yeah, it's a party punk rock underground cast, but everyone is very, very talented in what they do, and wants to perform. And that's the thing. You've got to want to be there, and you've got to be able to do something. Going back to I want to be on the show. Doing what? I want to be on the show.
And like I said, as soon as I walked in, I was excited and I was into it.
We have a lot
and then I played as well.
Oh yeah.
And then the last time I did a little more. I played a little more.
Yeah. Last week you did 3 songs. That was cool. Or the last show from when we're recording this.
Yeah. And tell us a little bit about the 1 year anniversary, and then we'll close the show. Because this was a undertaking that took a while.
Very.
Because I was in the middle of this. The first show I was on, the next week was supposed to be the 1 year anniversary, and we got cut off. And then I ended up on 1 year anniversary last week.
What I really like about bullshit that's happened to us in the last month is I tried to create a lost episode of the Jello show, because I always like talking about the lost episode of Cheers, or the lost episode of I Love Lucy and all that. So episode 49 of the Green Jello show doesn't exist. So I in the chat room, it's one of the big jokes that it happened in episode 49.
Yeah.
The other big joke is Kush will not be performing tonight.
Nice.
Some shitty band that walked off our show. But we did episode 50, and then we did episode 50, and right before episode 51, which was going to be our anniversary show. I won't get too deep into it, but some asshole complained about our way of doing things, the alcohol for one, which is another reason why there's no alcohol anymore, and that Bill's son was being homeschooled instead of going to school during the pandemic. So he had to go back to public school. And this punk rock band who all drinks off each other's balls, all shares weed and bongs and joints, never gets sick. All of us caught COVID 7 days after this kid went to an LA public school. I actually did not, because I think I previously had it.
Yeah.
And I didn't get sick, but more than half the cast got COVID. And at the time, I was recovering from an intercostal hernia also.
Oh, nice.
If you watch some of the shows,
So that's what you needed.
You'll see me holding my rib because it hurts. But yeah, so everyone was out of commission for 2 weeks. So we didn't get to do our anniversary show on the week it was supposed to happen.
Right.
Didn't get to do our anniversary show on the next week. And then when we came back and we finally had time to do our anniversary show, the fucking landlords cut our power off.
Yeah, and all we did the announcements. Everyone came out.
We did the announcements.
And then you did the monologue, and then it ended.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, boom.
Well, Bill was still there. Bill did the monologue, and all the lights went off. We thought we had popped a breaker, and when we went out there, none of the breakers were popped. So we sat around for another hour and a half and sang activist songs on the sidewalk
out in the front. Yeah,
and everyone
had a party. Had a big party out
wasted.
front. Yeah.
And then the following week, we tried to do our anniversary show again, and it was actually 52 then. It would have been our anniversary show. Yeah. And unfortunately, Bill went into stage 3 hypertension and was at risk of having a stroke. So we thought we were going to have to cancel again, but that would be 4 weeks in a row with no show.
Right, yeah.
So there was a small vote, and I ended up hosting the show.
Yes.
I stopped being the commentator on the side, and I hosted
so you had some big boots
show.
to fill.
Yeah. I tried
as he was filling him in the hospital,
to
you
get
were
people to
filling
drink
him
off
on the
my
show.
balls, but didn't happen. But yeah, I hosted the show and wrote the comedy still, and it went off. I mean, it was a pretty good show too. I think Bill made 2 appearances via phone cam from his hospital bed, where he gave us a lot of thumbs up and now I'm halfway nodding off. Happy to say, though, he's out of the hospital. His blood pressure's back down to a normal place.
And the show's going to go on.
The show will be on Saturday the way it's normally on. So, but yeah, we had a bit of a moment there for our year anniversary.
So this is the perfect time to wrap up the show.
And what to wrap up with? Oh, that's a joke from a friend of mine.
Go ahead. Yeah.
No, it's trademark. Can't say it. It's Richie the C's joke. Look him up on YouTube. You'll know what it is.
So thank you for tuning in to Chad's Underground Scene with my friend the Nihilist. And remember, it all starts in the underground.
I'll see you
And
later.
enjoy this footage. We're going to play a little more footage.
Bye. I'm single.
Listen to us, you already know the songs, motherfuckers, and here he is, Bill Manspeaker. All right, boys and girls, my balls are squeaky clean. It's time to start the shit show. Can I get everyone here to make some noise? California! It's the Green Jello Vision Music David! Everyone, you at home, please
Messiah of marijuana, Richard Eastman, and his buddy, Little Jack. Give it up for our vocalist, Chris Lorraine. The guy that's always finger licking good. It's the Colonel. The clown we all love from Fresno, California. It's Titties the Clown. The one-man rock show himself. Give it up for Princess Frank. She used to wrestle pigs in New Mexico. Give it up for Slim. The guy that brings back all the dead rock stars. Give it up for Grim. And give it up for Al! Our production manager, Allie! Give it up for Chaos Diablo and Forrest! Let's go backstage! Give it up for Tekka Tasha! Our master control operator, Jello Lugosi. The green Jello vision, house band on the drums, MC Queen.
We talk about everything, play music in between. Till